Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Game on. Good morning. Amy Jacobson, John Anthony in for Dan Proft. Today is the day our 45th and soon to be 47th president is going to be sentenced in the hush money case. But there's going to be no jail time, no fines, no probation. So why in the world are we doing this? Let's begin there with Bret Baier. Good morning, Mr. Bret Baier. How are you doing? Are you there? Bret Baier.
I am here. Good
there
morning.
You are, host of Fox News Special Report and best-selling author of To Rescue the Constitution. Good morning. How are you?
I am great. It is. It'll be an interesting day. I think Trump team was upset with the Supreme Court decision with the Chief Justice and Amy Coney Barrett siding with the liberal justices that they couldn't block this sentencing. But what was also interesting in the order, they essentially locked in Juan Merchan, the judge, saying he's not going to have any, time or fine, and essentially it's pro forma. So if Juan Merchan was planning on doing something else, the Supreme Court kind of locked him in on that.
Well, how are you guys going to be covering it today? I mean, Trump's going to be...
I mean, it shouldn't last that long. We'll have full coverage starting at 9:30.
And do you think President Trump should have gone to the actual courtroom, or do you agree with him by doing it via Zoom?
I mean, I think he's signaling that he's moved on and will be the 47th president of the United States. But, he could have, if he was campaigning, I'm sure he would have been in that courtroom.
Yeah, but are there going to be any repercussions for Alvin Bragg or Justice Juan Merchan? Judge, I mean.
That's a great question. I mean, I don't know. I think there will be something about Alvin Bragg and whether this was, worthy of bringing forward in the way that he did. I mean, you talk to legal experts, on all sides of the aisle, they agree that there are giant holes in this thing that are open for appeal. And so once this happens, that starts that process.
Wow. And what I love Trump's response. I respect it. Despite what Joe Biden did, trampling the Supreme Court decisions, he really didn't care about a Supreme Court decision, especially as it related to the student loan fiasco. But Bret, I see that Book Authority said that your book is one of the best Constitution books of all time. And the name of that book is To Rescue the Constitution. Has our Constitution been kidnapped, and what should we do as people that are listening, who go about their day working day in and day out, just trying to live? What is our Constitution? Has our Constitution been kidnapped, and what should we do about it?
Yeah. Well, thanks. That was a nice honor by Book Authority, and it's very cool to be in that club. But I think. Listen, our founders obviously were different, dealing in a different time. But if you look around the world, the U.S. Constitution is the only document that is still holding tight. It's just a matter of our being able to implement it the right way and hold true to first principles. And I write in the book that they had this test where they brought liberals and conservatives and libertarians together and said, rip up the Constitution and try to do something different, for our time. And these scholars spent a number of weeks, and then they came back, and essentially they made tweaks to it, a few, but the actual heart of the Constitution stayed the same in all three. The liberals wanted not to have electoral college. The conservatives said, maybe the Supreme Court lifetime should be looked at again. And the libertarians essentially said, at the end of every page, it should say, and we mean it. Mm. And I think that tells you something about the longevity of the document.
Wow. The Republicans are going to be busy in the upcoming weeks We got J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Elise Stefanik, Matt Gaetz seats that are currently open. Who do you think will be replacing these people, especially as it relates to Vance, Rubio, and Gates? You think DeSantis appoints himself to the Senate?
I don't think so. But I think the word in Florida was that the Attorney General maybe is under consideration. She's a political powerhouse. In Ohio, we'll see. You could see Vivek Ramaswamy be one of the choices and go from Doge on the outside to Doge on the inside. So I think we'll see in probably coming days those announcements.
What about Byron Donalds to replace Rubio?
I think his wish is to run for governor in Florida, and so I'm not sure he's going to take a Senate
What
seat.
about, I heard Casey DeSantis is going to run for that seat.
Uh-oh.
Her husband's seat. Have you heard that?
I've heard that
First
she's
Lady of
very
Florida.
politically active,
Uh-huh.
and I've definitely talked to her, and she's very savvy, so that's possible.
Okay. Now, Gavin Newsom caught fake calling with President Biden yesterday to get away from an angry LA resident. Trump is asking him or saying that he should resign. And then you have Karen Bass. This is just an epic fiasco.
Yeah, it's the anger is bubbling up out there, and I think there's going to be a lot of fallout. Think about 4,000 to 8,000 homes totally destroyed just in LA County, and that it's not just the homes. I mean, it's everything: the stores, the churches, everything. So rebuilding there is going to be amazing and hard. And I think we haven't really got our head around the scope of how big this is, and there's going to be a lot of anger. I bet there'll be a lot of lawsuits, because the water wasn't coming out of the hydrants, and I think it's a major ding on Governor Newsom.
Yeah. Do you think his political career is over, though? And what about Karen Bass, the mayor?
Well, she had a really rough run of things. I think Gavin Newsom has this ability, like a cat with 9 lives, to continue to escape. But I don't know. He's a savvy politician. He knows how to work the crowds. But this is a big ding on his governing life.
And the sad thing is that Allstate, State Farm, they dropped 2.8 million claims or customers because California's state insurance regulator won't let them charge higher rates. So that's another stain on his record as well.
It is. Insurance is a big problem. The whole purpose of insurance is you pay in, and then when the stuff happens, they come in. It's not happening, and we're going to have to look at that in a number of different states, Florida being one of them.
Well, yeah, that's true with all the hurricanes, and I hope there's no Luigi copycats out there because of this. Because the insurance company, it's not that they don't want to help people, it's just that their hands are tied because you have all these state regulations, and same within Florida that needs to be looked at. Okay, a week from Monday is the big day, Inauguration Day. What is your job duties going to entail?
Well, I'll be anchoring with Martha McCallum, and we'll front the day. I don't know when our show starts, but obviously the swearing in at noon, and then I'll have a special report wrap up of the day. But we have a big set overlooking the White House, and it's going to be really interesting.
Are you going to be indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors, unfortunately.
Ooh,
so it's going to be cold. You got to get the whole winter gear going.
Hand warmers. Get lots of hand warmers.
That's right.
Speaking of cold, I mean, there was a lot of frosty moments at Carter's funeral on yesterday. And, a lot of people are making a lot of ado about Trump and Obama chummying it up.
Any idea what they were talking about, Bret Baier?
No, I think we're going to have lip readers, though, soon, I'm sure.
I know. I love those lip readers. But why was Michelle Obama not present when everybody else was?
Don't know. They said she had a scheduling conflict and she was in Hawaii. I don't know. It's bizarre. Everybody else was there. And then the reception between Vice President Harris
Ooh.
and the First Lady, Jill Biden, was really quite icy.
I don't know how many times you can fake reading a program, but they weren't even looking at each other. And then Dougie, looked back and was talking to Melania, and then Harris didn't like that and kind of nudged him. And then she kept looking back at Trump and Obama, who were laughing at something.
It was quite the scene, and it's a very small, exclusive club. So I think we'll learn more of that over time. I'm sure Trump will say what he was talking about.
Hey, Bret, what do you expect out of Trump's first 100 days? Are there going to be? Do you think there's going to be some scandal, something that pops out so that Trump can be impeached again? What does that first 100 days look like? And because the Democrats have been really quiet, I was shocked that Raskin didn't come out and do something as it related to the certification. What does that first 100 days look like with President Trump?
Well, he's not going to get impeached. Republicans control both chambers of Congress, so that's not happening. I think Democrats are trying to find their own way. He won the popular vote. I think it's going to be a shock and awe with dozens and dozens of executive orders on dozens and dozens of topics that happen within the first hours of getting in the Oval Office. So, what that looks like and the scope of it, I mean, there'll be a lot about immigration. There'll be a lot about overturning kind of Green New Deal, or what he says the green scam of executive orders that the Biden administration put in place on that first day. So it'll be a lot of undoing of some of that on regulations. But I'm talking, it could be 150 to 200 executive orders in the first day.
Wow.
He's going to be busy. I hope he's got extra pens. Question for you on our text line. Bret Baier, the news media, has gone silent on the drones. Did the drones stop, or is people just moving on?
Totally agree. I think it's the most bizarre thing.
Because you were all over that.
Yeah, we're still staying on it.
Okay, good.
And we really want to get to an answer. I think there's all kinds of speculation out there that the government knows exactly what it was, and we're not getting answers. So we're going to continue to ask questions. The sightings and the uproar on social media has gone away, and I think it's a lot because we turn the page. In America, when we get done with the story, something else is the shiny thing. So we're going to stay on it. And I have a whatever happened to piece coming up next week about the drones.
Oh, good. Can't wait. Watch you every night. Bret Baier, thank you so much, host of Fox News Special Report, and can't wait to see you and Martha McCallan on Inauguration Day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Bret.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. Your business and your money are in good hands with Signature Bank. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Jason Zenger, owner of Zenger's Industrial Supply and host of the Making Shifts podcast, and a proud customer of Signature Bank. Through rapid growth, acquisitions of competitors, and taking over from the previous generation, Signature Bank was there with us every step of the way.